We turn to Psalm 53. Psalm 53 has as title, To the Chief Musician, Set to Mahalat, a contemplation of David. And Mahalat is either a tune, a melody, or an instrument. We're not sure, but we find the same title also in Psalm 88. Now this psalm is almost verbatim a repetition of Psalm 14 with a few small modifications. The theme is the safety of godliness versus the peril of ungodliness. And David was probably using his existing psalm and applied it to a specific situation, probably an invasion or a siege. So, since it's practically the same as Psalm 14, I will not go over all the details again. I will leave the link to the video of Psalm 14 and suggest that you check that and put them also next to each other. For now, I only want to briefly highlight a few differences. And one remarkable difference, probably the most remarkable of the two, between the two psalms, is that Psalm 14 uses 3 times the name Elohim to refer to God and 4 times Yahweh. Whereas Psalm 53, this one, uses in all 7 cases Elohim. So Psalm 14 has a stronger reference to the covenant God of Israel than Psalm 53. Why is unclear. Perhaps this was done to speak more to the God-rejecting man. As we have these two opposing each other in this psalm, so it could very well be that Psalm 14 leans more towards the godliness and this one to the ungodliness. Another difference can be found in verse 5. In Psalm 14 it says, they were in great fear or in great dread. Here it adds to that the enemy is in great fear, even though their strategic position gave them no real reason to be in fear. And this also indicates that there was a siege of sorts underway, and that God will instill fear in the enemy, even if they normally and strategically they would not have reason to be in fear. And this is actually the promise that God made to Israel. And we can read about that in Leviticus 26 verse 36. It says there, and upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness into their hearts, into the lands of their enemies. And the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee, as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when no one pursueth. And God has done so throughout history multiple times. Just to highlight 2 examples, one from Joshua 10 verses 10 and 11. And the Lord discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way that goeth up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Azekah, and unto Makkedah. And it came to pass, as they fled from before Israel, and were in the going down to Beth Horon, that the Lord cast down great stones from heaven upon them, unto Azekah, and they died. And they were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. So here we see that it's the Lord who gives them fear and destroys the enemy. Also in 1 Samuel 14 verses 15 and 16, there it says, and there was trembling in the host, in the field and among all the people. The garrison and the spoilers, they also trembled, and the earth quaked, so it was very great trembling. And of the watchmen of Saul in Gibeon of Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. And of course we know the story of Gideon and his men who blew horns and brake vessels to confuse the Midianites, of which we can read in Judges chapter 7. There must have been such a situation at hand, a siege where David was thinking of those situations where God instilled fear in the enemy. So this psalm then ends the same way like Psalm 14, by looking for the salvation of God, prophetically pointing to Jesus. So it shows again how privileged we are to know Jesus as a person. So I will not go into details, as said. I will refer to the video of Psalm 14 for more details. And so this is a very short one, and we'll move on right away to the next video, Psalm 54. Amen.